Welcome to T-Boys TV. We're back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 76. Obviously in today's episode, we'll obviously be talking about that Huddersfield game. We finally got one over Huddersfield. Obviously I did do match reactions. Obviously this is where I'll let my dad get a bit more into it, and obviously I'll say a bit more as well. And then obviously previewing the FA Cup game tomorrow, obviously third round fixtures. Obviously we do take on Wigan Athletic, who in some sense, we will be seeking revenge because obviously they did beat us in the league. A bit of a disappointing loss, in my opinion. But obviously we'll get more into that, a bit later on. But like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad? We good?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, all nice.
Looking forward to the FA Cup game tomorrow.
Definitely.
So yeah, there we go. There we go with that one. Let me get into a few comments before we obviously start things off. Ariana, big up, says, go on. Yeah, absolutely. Hanno's loving it. Luton. Well, he's got to say that at the moment because it's not so great for his team, Chelsea, is it? Do you know what I mean? For God's sake, Blue Terrier. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, obviously, we played Huddersfield Town New Year's Day. Obviously, going into it, we both said a 2-1 win as well. And obviously, we did end up getting that right. Obviously, as for the lineup, pretty interesting in some senses, especially with, obviously, Louis Watson, obviously, starting. Obviously, it found Clark had a knock, I believe it was. They said it was. And obviously, it was good to see Reece Burt back on the bench. Like I said, on the watch-alongs and the match reaction, I thought it'd be a couple more games, and then we'd see him back on the bench at some point. But obviously, the lineup, Ethan in goal, Potts, Lockyer, Bree. And then, obviously, it was... No, sorry. It was Doherty. No, how actually was it here? I think it was Doherty on the right, actually, this game as well, wasn't it? Bell on the left.
Yeah.
Broderick, Campbell, and then Watson ahead. And then, obviously, Elijah and Morris up front. My thoughts when I saw that lineup, it was interesting to see Watson, but then, obviously, I heard what happened with, obviously, Clark. Other than that, I was happy with it. Really, really happy to see Reece Burt come back. Your thoughts on that lineup, Dad?
Yeah, it was interesting. It's good to see, the manager, giving players a chance. I.e. Watson. Clark had a knock, but that's it. And he played a lot of football as well, so kind of expected him to be arrested a little bit anyway. And then, I should say, Reece Burt back on the bench. All good. And then, just general, everything else, generally kind of what you probably expect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And obviously, it was good to finally see a defender on the bench as well. We haven't seen that the last couple of games. So, yeah, it was good. It was good there as well. But obviously, going into the first half now, I did think... I said it on the watch along. I said it, on the match reaction. I thought, at times it was a little bit annoying in that first half. Obviously, they did take the lead through Holmes. I felt Amari Bell and Watson, to a sense, could have done a little bit better. More so Bell, I'll be real, because obviously he's got more of that experience compared to Watson, of course. Obviously, this was Watson's league debut. But yeah, I felt they should have done better, especially with it being 2-on-1. It was a good finish. But I just felt the way, they were, the ball was managed to get past them. I felt they could have done a little bit better there. Would you agree on that, Dad?
Yeah, slightly. But the thing is, I think what it is Kessler Hayden is a good player. He's going to be a Premier League player. I like him. I'd like him at Luton personally, back up for Bree or a strict. You know what I mean? They're playing the same sort of position and that. And I think what it is just one of them. Bell's used to doing pretty well against most players in the Championship and that. But some players you've got to be on your guard against. Do you know what I mean? And Watson, I ain't going to give him, too much stick first and stuff. And at the end of the day, he's definitely he's a ball player midfielder, mate. So I'm not going to be too harsh on that. These things happen in football, and it's how you react to that and what you do after that, and that's what counts. So it's not like. That bad. It wasn't terrible defending. It was just it should have just gone into him and cleared the ball. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Yeah, and like I said, more so Bell for me due to his experience. You know, a lot of people didn't really like that I was saying that, but at the end of the day, there's people at this club that thinks he's not not sorry, fans that think he's not good enough, which I just think is absolutely bizarre to me. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm not sitting there saying anything like that. But anyway, obviously, you know, after that they both done well. They done really well. There was a time Watson actually in the first half, shortly after, where he got the ball, he turned. And actually, you know, that was a lovely pass forward.
Yeah.
Bell obviously redeemed himself scoring. Obviously, it did definitely cross the line. See it on replay, you know, without a shadow of a doubt. And sometimes you got to take them strikes on, haven't you, Dad?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, as well, like that was his right foot, I believe, and I think he's naturally left-footed. You know, and he has got that to his game, you know, and he has got that presence and mind to come forward sometimes and you know, have a shot and that, and you know, he drilled that. It would have looked better if the geezer didn't clear it off the line. Do you know what I mean? That's what I wanted to see. Do you know what I mean? But it was still a good, like drilled it low, a good finish. And he's capable of that now and again. And again, yeah, made up. That's what I'm saying. What you do to react to that. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what he done. And again, like Watson, it's his first start. You know, it looked at times it looked like his positioning. He was a bit like, where have I got to be? Where have I got to be? But when he actually had the ball,
he was very good with it. Yeah.
He was excellent with it. So, you know, he's only young. He's good, you know, and that's it. So, you know, people, I see some comments, oh, is he out of his depth? Like, and this, that, and that. Mate, a few years ago, we wouldn't have had a good up and coming young players like that at our club who would want to come out to our club and go out on loan, or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, just be careful what you wish for in certain aspects of that. But I thought he'd done all right, and you know, it's up to them youngsters to prove how good they are if they get the opportunity, which they probably will do under Rob Edwards. We've spoke about this before. Nathan Jones didn't really seem to I don't know. He just didn't seem to like want to bring in some younger. I mean, Justin, you know, he only come into the squad because someone was injured.
She's mad to think, isn't it?
Some bounds, and everyone was like, you know what, this, but yeah, he did improve him in that. But do you know what I mean? Like, he just didn't. There's certain players you think, come on, give him a chance, give him a chance. Same with Vice did, and he just wasn't doing that. I just touch on that quickly. I do feel sorry for him. What's going on? The amount of crap that's going his way is just fucking ridiculous. Southampton's team is shit. It is. It's a mismatch of just random players, like, and you could watch them, like, they haven't got, like, they're just the way they were playing in that. He's not on the pitch. You know what I mean? It just does anything. Give him time, he'll be fine. And they will give him time.
That's the thing. You know, a lot of people always jump on this bandwagon, oh, you've got to get a manager out instantly if they're not getting results. It's like, at the end of the day, certain managers, you have to give them transfer windows.
Yeah, small club manager and all this nonsense which are coming out.
I know.
I mean, and then oh, it's totally out of his depth. Well, what about people? He's got more experience than people like Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? Other managers that have come in the Premier League. It's the team, the squad that he's inherited, mate. That is all it is.
And I said it before the season started, when obviously I've done my Championship Premier League predictions. I said Southampton will just survive relegation for me. And the reason why I say that is because they signed a lot of young, inexperienced players for the Premier League. You know, their best signing probably, I would say, was probably a Rebo. But even then, you know, he was smashing it at Rangers, but it's completely different, you know, when you come to the Premier League.
What annoys me as well is you can see, I watched the game the other day, right? And you can see that all, you know, the way people are today in society and that, it seems like them players just don't want to give him a chance. They don't want to respect him. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. I see one of their players going down injured right in front of Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones was like trying to see if he's all right, and he just blanked him and that. And I thought, do you know what? Like, you're a dickhead, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll get out. You'll be gone out of that club, because I know for a fact that the board, the geezer that hired him, they want him there. and they will give him a chance. So all them lot are asking for him to go. They look like they're going to get relegated. It's not even because of him; it's because of the whole squad. They'll just be gone, shifted out, and then you'll see what he can do. Going forward. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he left us the same as Stoke. Good. I don't give a shit about him. This, that, and the other. Yeah, because Rob Edwards is doing well with us. But a lot of that is down to fucking Nathan Jones.
He left us in a good position. Exactly.
Just usual, That's all I want to say on the matter.
Honestly, I could be all day debating. Like, people still go on about it in the comments. Like,
entitled bull crap. Your team has been struggling for years.
Yeah, true.
And that's fact. And you've not been spending money, and it's just the way it is. Everyone's going on about Stoke. Well, what have they done since he left?
Exactly. Work. Yeah, they're moving like they've done a lot. Yeah, it annoys me.
So
sitting near the bottom of the table constantly. Yeah, exactly.
Don't give him the time. Someone else will give him a job, mate. So looking totally out of his depth. It's just easy for people to say. Just blame the money. Don't blame the players for their crap performances on the pitch, trying to pass it around at the back and all that. Do you know what I mean? You can see that some of them clearly ain't respecting him.
I think maybe the only one is probably Ward-Prowse from what I've seen.
Well, yeah, it depends how he gets on with them. Do you know what I mean? It depends on a certain level of our character they are. It just makes me laugh.
He's the only one really scoring, really, and actually trying. From what I've seen, don't get me wrong, I haven't watched every game when he's been in charge, but for the ones I have seen, like the Fulham's away the other week when they lost.
Expecting a miracle.
He was decent as well. I mean?
Mourinho in charge of that team, mate. It wouldn't make no difference, mate.
No, exactly. Like you say, it's just easy to say. It's just easy to say. It's one of them.
Yeah, back to the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, back to the town. Excuse me. So, like I said, obviously there was a few phases in that first half where I did feel we were playing the long balls, which I did find a bit weird because obviously we know a lot of us didn't like that at times, and it was frustrating in that sense. But obviously we responded well. Like I said, Bell redeemed himself. Sometimes, like I say, you've got to take on that shot, and obviously he did. And then obviously going in to the second half, very good time to score. I felt, a couple of minutes before half time, and that put us in a better position. And whatever Rob Edwards said, for me, definitely worked. You could see we was a lot more on the ball. Someone did ask me, and I did mention it on the match reaction, would you rather have possession more away or at home? And I said, honestly, I don't mind, mate, because I know at home we're going to have them chances. It's just going to happen because we're at home. But obviously, we got on the ball a lot more away from home in the second half, and it was a lot better from us. Obviously, we did bring on Reece Burke. For obviously Doherty, brilliant to see him back. I did say during the watch along I'd like to see a bit of a cameo of him. Maybe I didn't expect him to come on, as early as he did. I was thinking maybe 15 minutes to go, something like that, but wasn't disappointed with it whatsoever. Brilliant to see him back. Obviously, before Lockyer obviously, got his chance back into the squad. Reece Burke was the best defender on form. I remember us both saying that at that time. And, obviously he come on and obviously scored the winner. And I did think our second goal, it's quite weird. I did think it was very similar to their first goal. Whereas, it's the same sort of finish. Out of all people, you would not expect him to just do that on the normal run. Maybe from a set piece, like I said, on the match reactions and that. But, yeah, brilliant finish. And what a return from Reece Burke. Finally get one over Huddersfield. Brilliant, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, like it's not even just that finish. Like the geezer looks like a beast. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a big, strong player. We know he's coming on leaps and bounds since he's joined us. The goal ahead against Chelsea. He's a future Premier League player, and hopefully that'll be with us. He's so athletics. Do you know what I mean? He reads the game well. He can score a goal. He wins everything in the air. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's good at passing. He's good at coming forward. Like, do you know what I mean? He's an excellent player. And just before that, like, he was winding up Silver Thomas, which and you've got to do that. Don't give it, like, and then expect our players not to back it. You know what I mean? Things like that annoys me, and he was, that helped us as well. And just his presence in the team is just really, really, really good. And yeah, it was relatively easy for him to finish, but he still had the presence of mind to drill it low into the bottom corner. He didn't swipe at it. He knew he had the time to place that, and he done well. And fair play to him. Took his shirt off, got a yellow card, whatever. Like, what a way to come back 3 months out. He's been unlucky with injuries, and I always get.
Yeah, he literally was about to come back, and then he got another injury, didn't he?
Such a good player. Like, I proper rate him. And again, him, when we got full strength defence in that, like I said before, I can't see Bradley getting back into the team. He's going to end up like top, because they're just so capable, and they're just up that butt, especially like Lockyer as well, because he's always been, but there was a couple of times, weren't there, where he made a few errors, or he got too carried away with like the antics and stuff. But now, like we said in previous shows recently, every time we see him, we know we've got a ball, Mr. a Luton player from like, one of them like throwback Luton players that you just want in your team and knows going to do a good job. And Burke's another one, and we give them, the whole club gives them that confidence to move on, no matter where they've come from. They come from League One, League Two, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed to thrive, and I'm just really pleased that he come on, and it shows the depth we've got as well. As soon as someone comes back from injury, it's like bang, I'm back. And I expect him. Obviously he's got to get back up to fully match fitness, but he looks like a beast anyway. He looks like he's probably been training for about a month anyway.
I was thinking that, yeah.
I expect him to start tomorrow, to be honest, to get some more minutes.
Yeah, get some minutes in the tank. Yeah, exactly, 100%.
And I like him. I think he's an excellent player.
Yeah, you highly rate him. I do as well. I do, definitely. From what I've seen of him, I remember when obviously he left Hull to come to us. A lot of their fans are disappointed. A lot of them, saying casual, where's he going, Luton, rare tear. Yeah, no disrespect to the whole fans in this comments. I know there are a few, but we're in a better position, and we have been for a good few seasons now, really. So it's one of them. And also another thing about Burke, which obviously, we really like as well, is how good he works with Bree on that right-hand side. At times, I would say we miss that at times, to be honest with you.
Definitely, yeah.
You definitely saw that in games for me. So
yeah, they work well together. Like, they understand each other, and that's that's another thing that's going to benefit us. All these little. I remember John Still years ago saying stuff like that. Certain player, you've got to find them little patterns, players who worked well together as well, and they did. And it's good to have that back. It's not like we were poor, but the level. They look dangerous when we used to pass it. You didn't know he was coming. When he come forward and scored that goal before he got injured, do you remember? He scored that goal. He's
good goals, memorable goals already.
He's definitely got a lot of potential. A lot of potential, that guy.
Yeah, no, 100%, definitely. Let's go through some comments before we go on to the player ratings. Hanno's loving the Chelsea women top of the league. Shame the actual Chelsea aren't, isn't it? But anyway, big up Graham Rogers, obviously Liverpool fan, quite regular on the channel nowadays. He says, "Go Hatters, are they ready for the Premier League?" Ooh.
I think they probably, as a championship side possibly coming up through the playoffs, you're going to have to say they're not ready to but they're ready to compete.
Make that, if that does happen, make that, do what we need to do, I
think we could squad to go up than us and still survive or whatever, or do well. Teams like Wolves and even Southampton, a few years ago, they were both in League One. So I'd say,
Yeah.
And you know, and if we did get promoted, we would make signings. We wouldn't go like Nottingham Forest and sign 20 players, but we
Yeah,
would.
no way.
The money, we would definitely 100% be spending the most money we've ever spent. But we would do it wisely. We'd be able to go out and go to these clubs. Look, do you want to come, Luton? Like, look at it. It can only get better, and all we got to do is survive. And even if we don't, we still got all that money in the bank. We'd have the parachute payments. You know what I'm saying? So it'd just be good to be there. We would get a couple of scalps, and you know, I think they are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. And like I say, if we was obviously to go up, we would instantly make what we need to do happen, you know, and we try and be in the best position to stay up, you know.
Yeah.
Real, that would be our aim, of course. And even, you know, other teams you mentioned, you know, Brentford's another one I mentioned, for example. I think we're moving in a similar sort of, you know, thing, but they're obviously years ahead. So
Well,
yeah.
I think some teams up quite fast, you know. Obviously,
Yeah, we're doing it a lot faster. I
I
agree with that.
But we're getting a stadium, you know. COVID didn't help, you know, and things like that, you know. So, you know, little transitions, but this time you can see that we are, you know, on that upward trajectory, and you know, we've got the thing is, they'll want to do well in the Premier League. Yeah, it'll be tough. I'm not denying it won't be tough, because it will be tough. But you know, you just got to survive. That's it. I'll be happy with that, because we keep the money rolling in. And then after a couple of seasons, you can, you know, it's just part of the journey, isn't it? And we'll see what happens. So bring it on. And I know a lot of neutral fans would love to see Luton in the Premier League. They'd love to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
A lot of people have said that. Come on this channel and said that
when they go to the ground, or they got to look at their ground, they shouldn't even be allowed in the Premier League with that. So you know, all this nonsense crap I see over Twitter about Bournemouth, because their stadium's not even much bigger than ours. They're like, how are they even allowed in the Premier? It doesn't work like that. You don't go, oh, you've got a big stadium, you can come in the Premier League. You've got to earn the right to be in there. There's just dumb comments like that, which we'll thrive off of anyway. So we're doing it in this league. You know, managers lose to us, get sacked. Like,
exactly. Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, let's go through some more comments. Big up everyone inside. The comments is fine. We love that. What a thumbnail. Big up T. Good luck for tomorrow, says Max. Obviously, the whole fans here. I did see the whole fans in the comments. Big up yourself, mate. Thank you for that. And good luck to you guys as well. I know you lot playing Fulham. I just don't know. Is that tomorrow? I think it is. Or it's the next day. So yeah. Here you go with that. Big up Alex in the chat as well. He says, yes, Darren. Yes, Tyler. Big up yourself, mate. He says, can't stay for long. Got my 6-a-side county final. Good luck in that, mate. Yeah, hopefully you win that. And he says he won 3-2 to get there. So yeah, man, hopefully you definitely win that. That'd be sick. This is interesting. Just regarding other transfer news quick. Obviously, it is January. Aaron Connolly signs for Hull City for the rest of the season on a short loan. Decent signing.
If he starts banking the goals, like, they'll be safe. He's a good player. I remember when he was on loan to us, it was a few years ago and that, but it's decent. And he went back to Brighton and he started doing really well. Like, he just needs first team regular football, mate. He's a good player. He just needs to fit somewhere, and hopefully it works. I think it will, because he's got that ability.
Yeah, I rate him. I think he's a good player. I agree with that 100%. Big up Jackie. She says, hi, Ty Daz. He didn't look out of place for me, obviously, regarding Watson. No, I agree. You know, throughout the whole game, the way he was, you know, doing them quick passes and short passes, getting, you know, into the positions to help the other players. He done throughout the whole game. He done well, you know, especially for a home debut away from home as well. We know they can be sticky games sometimes, you know, especially against Huddersfield in recent years. So yeah, I think he done well. Big up Stephen as well. He says, big up Ty, Daz, Happy New Year. Same goes to you, mate. Big up yourself. I hope you're well. So yeah, obviously they're all going on about you know, stuff like that. Oh, lucky you, Hanno. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Lucky you, mate. Lucky you. I think it will be on iFollow, but obviously I won't be doing
I've got a feeling it's going to be on one of the ITV4.
You reckon? So I've tried to have a look today, and I can't find anything. It's annoying. I thought it'd be on like BBC Red Button because the main game at our time, in my opinion, is Brentford West Ham. So I thought we would be like on some.
I haven't checked. If there's other game, if it's like only one game, our game kicking off at 5:30. Why?
There's a few. I think there's about 4. So there's Brentford West Ham. There's us. There's Coventry Wrexham, and there's another one, but I can't remember who it is.
Well, I'll find a way of watching it anyway. So.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
One of my best friends going to it, so he's representing.
Obviously, Chris, who was on the Blackpool vlog,
good seat and that. So look out for it.
Shout out to me. He's got about 6 feet. Right next to the tunnel. You know what I mean?
A big guy next to the tunnel with a big.
So if you see someone, there you go. Big up Billy's Random Clips, becoming a regular on the channel. He says, "Evening, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well." So and then they're just having their little debates and all that in the comments. Big up everyone inside. At least you know that. At least you're starting to realise that. But there's that. Hull versus Fulham is going to be insane. You think I predicted a win? Obviously, my not Champions League. My FA Cup predictions will be out after this stream. Madness, predicting them all. They will be out on the community post. Yes, I saw that earlier. I asked my dad if he saw that before. So we'll be doing probably a watch along to that. Hoping to go to the away game, which I know is going to be a mad one. But obviously, I didn't go last year, so I'd like to tick it off. Wrexham, Tyler, I've got to say. Well, their best player, in my opinion, is the one that used to play for Luton, Elliot Lee. Well, he's definitely up there anyway. He started off well. Don't really know how he's doing at the moment, but I know he started off well for them. So see you in a bit, Max. See you in a bit, mate. Big up yourself for coming on. That is that. But moving on to the player ratings, unless there's anything else you want to say about them 90 minutes, Stud. There you go. Player ratings it is then. So obviously starting off in goal, obviously Ethan, yet again, another goal he couldn't have done anything with. How many times do we say that this season? Very good finish. Overall, I thought he was decent when he was called upon in that sense. I'm going to give him a 7.5.
Yeah, same. You know we're getting from Ethan now. Like, you don't really see him having a poor game at all. And when he does have the saves to make, he's pulling them off. Do you know what I mean? He's looking strong and, his distribution's good. Same as normal. Let's just put it out there. So, decent enough performance for him. 7.5 as well, yeah. Yeah,
there you go. Absolutely. Sorry, no, it's fine. It's fine. Big up, Daz. By the way, hope you're well. Says Max.
Yeah, big
up. I'm not surprised, Alex. Obviously, you lot saw my reaction to that. The ones that were on the watch along, a lot of you laughing, but it's just a sick bit of play, and it was a brilliant finish, of course. So,
an interesting one, because I see a feed come up on Facebook, and it had like the five best Championship goals of the month or something like that, and he weren't even on there. And I was thinking, what you know what I mean? I don't know if it is what it is, but obviously it's come out there, and it should be as well because it was just.
Brilliant
play.
Yeah.
A team does that in the Premier League, they're getting the plaudits. So, what's the difference?
100%. Jackie Con Ethan 7.5, same as us. Stephen says 7.7. Good stopping when needed. Exactly. That's how I felt really about that one. Moving over, we'll go over to who will we go over to? Let's go over to Bree. We're decent from him. Yet again, I'm just going to go with another 7.5.
Yeah, again, involved. The thing is, we weren't at our best, and neither were they, obviously. But what I'm saying is, it was a hectic period and that, but we still competed, but we didn't really get out of third gear. But we controlled the game quite well, in my opinion. I've heard otherwise from Huddersfield fans, but I don't know if they don't know what stats are or anything, or watching a different game. But
Oh.
nonsense. I'll just give him a 7.
Yeah, fair enough. Jackie's gone 7.5. So yeah, there you go with that. Moving over towards, we'll go over to Bell. Actually, no, we'll do the back line. We'll do the main back line first. The back three, shall I say? Potts. Again, I thought it was decent from him. He tried to play in them long balls, which we know he is good at. And I thought he defended well at times. Didn't really put a foot wrong for me. I'm going to go with another 7.5.
7 again for me for Potts.
Fair enough. Bree looked okay going forward. When he could, got back well, 7.7, says Stephen. Potts 7, says Jackie as well. So there you go there. And then we'll go over to Lockyer. Lockyer, I don't think it was too bad. I think he worked well with Ethan again. Obviously, we saw a lot of that against QPR. I think we saw bits of that in this one as well. Another 7.5 for me.
Yeah, decent. No, he weren't captain, but he's just what you get from Locks. Do you know what I mean? He's just there. He's just performing really well. And yeah, stood out a little bit more from the other defenders for me. So 7.5.
Yeah, there you go. Potts consistent, 7.5, says Stephen. Jackie's on 8.5. Nice. Lockyer solid, 7.5. Yeah, exactly. He done well. And then moving on to the wing backs. Obviously, we'll start off with Bell. Obviously, did get the goal, redeemed himself well after. So with Bell, I'm going to go. You know what? Because like I said, really good of him to take on that shot. And like I said, redeemed himself. I'm going to go with an 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going out like. I think he was decent, like for getting the goal. But I've seen him play a lot better. But again, they were all like playing at a similar level. So I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, fair enough. Jackie's gone 7.5 as well. And then moving on, we'll go over to Doherty. Obviously, we know he can also play on that right hand side. Obviously, that is what he done in this one. And yeah, I thought he was good there again, done a job. As for rating, I'll just go for 7.5 again.
Didn't he get the cross in for the first goal, or am I thinking of the previous game?
You're thinking of the previous game.
Yeah. Again, it was decent. He was all over the place. Good performance from him. You want him starting the games now, really. And when we get back to full fitness, we'll have to switch him around because he won't be. We'll have Bree, we'll have Bell. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be moving him around. But yeah, I'll give him a 7.5.
Yep. Where was I? Bell looked okay. Left centre back. Weak at the goal, but he got the gist back exactly. So 7.8, says Stephen. Fair enough. Doherty 8, says Jackie. Doherty, love him, works bloody hard. Exactly. 7.8, says Stephen. Works very hard. Yeah, 100%. Now moving on to the midfield. We'll start off with Pelly Ruddock. I thought he was decent again. Got stuck in at times, made himself known that he was there. I'm going to go with 7.5. I've gone with a lot of 7.5s, but yeah, I'm going to go with another one.
It was like that, though. I don't think anyone really stood out. I mean, I was struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to give him 7.
There you go with that one. Jackie's gone 7.5. So there you go with that one. Hanno laughing at Wolf, saying Dorothy 10, no idea who he is, for God's sake. And then obviously moving on to Campbell. We'll go over to Campbell. Again, stuck in. There was a picture I saw. Obviously, this ain't judging his performance, but there's a picture I saw. It's sick. It was of the second goal. All the players celebrating. You can see Campbell going, it's a sick picture. But yeah, no, I thought he played well, got stuck in. You know what you expect. You know what you expect from this guy, really. It was one of them. Again, 7.5. But yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, same.
There you go, just like that. Bear with me a second. I'm just trying to sort something out. There we go. Ruddock looked better as plays. I think Edwards gives him freedom. as the way he plays. Yeah, I'd agree. 7.9. Jackie's gone 7.5 for Ruddock. I did say that, didn't I? Campbell 7.5. Campbell, my pitbull, first name on team sheet. Exactly. That's exactly what I always say as well. And then moving on to obviously the other midfielder, which was of course Louis Watson. Obviously his debut, like we mentioned. And yeah, overall, a good debut for me. Like I said, there was that thing he done in the first half that impressed me, where he turned, got out, ball out of his feet, played a good ball forward. Helping the players coming short, passing it around, on either side. Yeah, for me, I thought it was an impressive debut, to be honest. So I'll go with another 7.5. But if people put it higher, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'll go with some. Like sometimes I thought, oh, is his position? He didn't look lost, but his positioning, like, was like, what, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he plays different. We're not used to seeing him. That's the way he plays, kind of thing. But when he was on the ball, I think he had like a 94% pass ratio.
Yeah, they said that earlier. Actually, I was listening to a bit of his interview.
He just done the basics really well. You know what I mean? Yeah. And is that kind of breaking up, passing the ball around, calming things down or whatever, and things like that. So I actually do think he done well in his first game. I think people just always look, especially Luton fans sometimes, I don't know why, they're always looking for like, well, why is he playing? Because they think they know better and and all that. But actually, I've seen other debuts from players which have been terrible, or players that I'm just thinking, why are you even, Morel? Sometimes, you know what I mean? No, he was decent. He's done the basics right, and he's not going to try all this certain stuff in his first game. Still a young boy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just going to do what is asked of him.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, I did watch his interview thing. Talk about that game, FA Cup, and etc. The transformation at Luton and that. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. Make sure you check that out on the Luton YouTube if you haven't already. But yeah, no, fair enough. Everyone else's ratings, Watson 8. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if someone went higher. Jackie has gone with an 8. Watson, good debut. I think he has more to come, and only 21. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. 21.
Definitely. 7.6. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, mate. That is fair enough. And then moving on to the front two, we'll start off with Elijah. I don't think it was. I thought he was quite unlucky in this one, to be fair. Obviously, he would have that seek of, you could say, revenge in the sense where obviously he was unfortunate when we played Huddersfield both times in the legs. Obviously, first game, don't even think he was there, was he? Because that injury. And then second game, he come on and obviously, to tell he wasn't there because obviously he was struggling to walk when he come on because obviously the injury and that. He was unlucky. He had a chance in the first half. Like I said, it was unlucky. He was trying. I feel sorry for him at times this season, and it was another one of them for me with him. I'm going to go for 7.5.
Yeah, same. He worked really hard. Like that got, the control that he had was perfect. The way he pushed it forward was perfect. And the keeper Nichols, although we don't like him, he stuck a leg out and produced that good save. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't really say, oh, should it? It's a good shot. And the keeper got, he's quite intelligent. Even though he's annoying, and he saved. But on another day, he would have started that. It was a good burst forward and that. And again, he just needs a couple of goals. But he's putting the work in. He's definitely putting the work in. You can see he's not getting frustrated like we saw under Nathan Jones, like at certain times towards the end of last season. He was sitting there getting frustrated. You could see that a lot. He's not doing that now. Do you know what I mean? And it is difficult for any striker when they're not scoring goals. But they'll come for him. They'll come for him. 7.5. I thought he was pretty decent, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, he was unlucky, and it was another one of them this season. We've seen that a lot. But yeah, I just clicked on this because obviously Alex has got to go to his final. Good luck, mate. I hope you win it. That'd be sick if you won that. And obviously, big up everyone saying good luck as well. And yeah, that is that. Where was that comment? That's exactly what it says for me, Hannah. Hopefully that changes. But I'm sure that for me, if the Wigan game's not on any sort of BBC red button or whatever, I'm sure it'll be on iFollow because I know they've done it last season with Harrogate.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, I think they've done it for Chelsea as well. So obviously that was on TV as well. But, for the people obviously abroad and that. So, yeah, I'm sure it'd be the same in my opinion. Elijah 7.5 says, Jackie, yeah. Adebayo works hard, trying new things, adding to his game, which I liked. I'd agree with that as well. 7.7. So, yeah, no, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. And then moving on to the other player that started, obviously, Carlton Morris. Obviously, I gave him man of the match on the match reaction that I did. And I just felt, because I felt in games last season, because how highly rated Nichols is and still is and was at the time, people saying he's best keeper in the league and etc. And obviously it was good. I don't obviously like him, but when a player's good, I admit they're good. I thought Morris stuck it on him really in that sense, and I felt that benefited us in this game as well. I think there was a time Nichols went down and Morris was like, get up, or vice versa, something like that. And he was just on him, in that sense. When he's taken ages with the goal kicks, Morris or Elijah, they'd both be there. And I still felt, even though he didn't score, and there's been games where he hasn't scored this season and he hasn't played as good as we know he could, I felt this one, he still played good, and that's why I give him man of the match due to that main Nichols reason as well, in that sense. So, yeah, for Morris, I'm going to go, might sound very highly rated, but obviously, like I said, man of the match. I did give someone else an 8 earlier as well, and that was obviously Bell. I'm going to go over 8.5.
Yeah, I think he did look our standout player. He had the most energy in that, and he was doing his step overs and just looking consistently dangerous. Yeah, although he didn't score, but he was a threat as long as he was on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, catalyst now. He's one of them. You've got to start him now. You've got to start him. He's clearly our best striker at the moment.
Yeah.
Whereas last season it was Elijah, and we was like, yeah, Elijah's the, you know what I mean? And like that's probably part of why Elijah's like not struggling, but he's because he was playing on that side as well, and now he's playing on the other side. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
he needs a bit of getting used to and stuff like that because he's good with both feet. I feel Elijah. But yeah, Morris is just looking super confident pretty much every game. I do believe he'll be rested tomorrow, maybe bench.
Yeah.
But I've got to have come off the bench. And yeah, I do feel like he stood out from everyone else slightly for me.
Yeah.
So I'll give him my man of the match, and I'll give him an 8.
Wow. Yeah, sorry. One of my wires with the plug sockets just nearly went all over the floor, so that wouldn't have been great. But yeah, no, exactly. I agree, obviously, of course. Stephen says Morris getting into good areas, try and find him. Huddersfield worried of him. Exactly. And I felt that's what we were missing at times against Huddersfield last season was that attacking spark. More so in the playoff game, because obviously the league game, obviously we did have Elijah, but just the more options, and somebody like a Morris. I felt we missed that because you look at the chances we had in that playoff second leg against them. If that was Morris or Woodrow or a fit Elijah, we would have scored them goals. That's for sure, in my opinion. So yeah, I felt we was missing that, and obviously Morris going in this game was a massive part of benefiting us with that. I felt. Jackie's on Colton 8.5 as well. Luton Fag looks beautiful. Yeah, obviously we both got them up. Do you know what I mean? They're the same one as well. Yeah, no, they are good. They are good.
You need to be. Mate, where's your clock?
I'm hoping. I need to still ask Mum to do that. Sort that out for me. Actually, I still haven't done that. Don't worry about that, Hanno. I'll just do a match reaction, mate. It's fine. Don't worry about that. Appreciate it though. Morris, yeah, man of the match. Exactly. But yeah, moving on to the players that come on. So obviously the first one was obviously Reece Burke. Obviously got the winning goal. Brilliant, return. Reece Burke, just for what he did. I know it might be a bit high rated for, a player that come on, but just a sense getting winning goal back, returning. I'm going to give him an 8.
I can see that. I'll give it a 7.5. The goal, it was good. Well done for finishing it, but it was he come on to affect the game, and then to wind up their so-called one of their best players, so Sorba Thomas, who I feel was a bit above his station in my opinion. That's why he's been dropped.
He's linked with Burnley now, which is interesting to me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but I don't doubt it's a good player, but you need the right attitude as well.
Exactly.
He's got that, and you can see that. Something we wound him up straight away, and it dropped his game off. So I think he had a delivery into the box after that. It was terrible. So that kind of aspect as well. But 7.5. And I want him to start tomorrow.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we said it before. Well, after the game when we spoke, we said, for the fact to get his minutes up, and I know you mentioned it at the start of this episode as well. As for everyone else's player ratings, Jackie's gone 7.5 as well. Burke, fucking hell, welcome back, son, 7.9. Yeah, brilliant return. Obviously, brilliant to celebrate in front of the travelling away fans as well. Big up to everyone that did travel to that, especially on New Year's Day away, all the way up to Huddersfield as well. So, big up to everyone that done that as well. And then, obviously, the next sub was obviously Woodrow. Obviously, come on. Obviously, that was to help the attack as well. It looked like he went in that sort of cam role. That's what it looked like to me with Morris and Elijah next to him. And I thought, he done decent. He done decent in the sense where he helped out. As for a rating, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well. I think he had a shot as well, but he come on, he looked comfortable. Again, when players come on, they're told to do certain things. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we were chasing the game desperately or anything like that. Just to make them more aware that we got all these strikers on the pitch. You got to watch out for him. Like, do you know what I mean? And we're good. It's good that we got that in our locker. And I just want to see him start more games now, right? And just be part of the squad where he just come off the bench and like he did against Norwich and just be there. If that is the case, and if he forces himself into the first team, then so be it. Because we like Woodrow, don't we? So I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, Jackie's gone with the same as well. Woodrow cameo 7. Yeah, exactly 7. That is that. Moving on to the next player, obviously the last player that come on. He affected the game well when he come on, I felt, especially for that second goal, a bit of part to play with that. And that was obviously Cameron Jerome. Obviously, he is actually, I believe, from Huddersfield as well. Obviously, Manny or Caden, whatever you know him as, obviously on the channel, is actually related to him. They're actually cousins. So that's interesting. I knew that for quite a while now, but obviously, I felt he done well. He affected the game well, especially when he did come on. Bear in mind, he came on for 7 minutes as well. So Jerome, I'm going to go with another 7.
Yeah, same. Like he's got good pace
for his age as well. Yeah,
and he wants to play for Luton. He's not one of these players who's just coming in there and whatever. But do you know what I mean? I'm just here picking up a wage packet. Like he seemed to be at stages last season. Let's have it right. But now he's just seems fully settled. He probably knows it's probably going to be the last club that he plays for. But fair play to him. When he comes on, he knows exactly what he's got to do. He's got that ability. He's got that vision. He's got that experience, and that's what he's brought on to bring, and he brings it every time. So I'm really pleased that because sometimes you need that just to close out games or offer a different threat. And I'll give him a 7 as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Excuse me. Stephen says Jerome involved 7 exactly. Cameron Jerome 7 says Jackie exactly. But obviously both of us give Morris man of the match. So yeah, man, that is that. Anything else you want to say on the Huddersfield game? Obviously, really good to finally get one, over him. Obviously, due to see the
Yeah,
playoffs and
I felt that,
etc.
as I said, our quality would shine through, and because we have got a much better squad, and it did. So I'm just pleased. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, and obviously
three wins in a row, especially with a busy period against the teams we did play. It weren't like we was playing. No disrespect, Wigan, Rotherham, and Blackpool, whatever. Do you know what I mean? These were tough games. Even Huddersfield, they were, they haven't got the depth that they had last season, but they got.
They were on 2 wins themselves.
As Rudini was a nuisance. That's one player that we was apparently looking at, and we just frustrated them well. We do. That's what we're good at as well. But we seem to be playing more football now as well, which is good to see.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, going forward, definitely, mate. He should at least be on the bench a lot more for me. Obviously, we'll get into lineups as well tomorrow, and I think he starts because Luton usually, what I notice is when a player does an interview a day before the game in the FA Cups, they usually tend to start. Like I think last year it might have been Jerome or someone, and they started. So, and obviously that's where Jerome actually kicked on last season. I remember when he got that goal against Harrogate, which obviously we went to, and then obviously we know he started, making more of an impact then, which is obviously what we wanted to see of him, and he does it pretty much every time he comes on now, really. So yeah, man. Stephen says payback is a lovely feeling. Oh yeah, sorry, Dan. Just your thoughts on this? Do you agree with what I said?
Yeah. But it's down to him to force it, way into that.
Because there's a lot of good midfielders he's battling with in a positive way, obviously. But your Clarks, your Campbells, your Ruddocks, your
even Lansbury, you've been kicking
even
on.
your Lansbury, Berry. There's loads. There's loads. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, that is that. But yeah, it's one of them. So that is everything said about that. Moving on to the game tomorrow, FA Cup third round, is on. Obviously, 32 fixtures. Obviously, our fixture in this one is obviously against Wigan Athletic, another championship side. Obviously, we did play them earlier on in the league, in the league. Obviously, we did lose that. I think the main reason we lost that is we had a no midfield for a good 10 minutes. And I just think that we can just, expose that really and just made the most of it really in that sense. So yeah, obviously, in the league, obviously, I know form tends to go out the window out of the cup. Obviously, they sit bottom. We do have them literally 2 games time after this as well, away from home. So it's going to be interesting. We got them twice in January. FA Cup, obviously, last season, I remember they had a really good game actually in their third round, 3-2 against Blackburn. Obviously, Wigan in League One at that time. Obviously, Blackburn, as we know, Championship. And then obviously, as for us, obviously, both went to that game, Dad. Unfortunately, we'll not be going to this one, but obviously, that was when we beat Harrogate convincingly. And that's when we didn't play for a while. It took us a while in that game. I remember Elijah scored a very good goal to open things up. Obviously, didn't play for a while, so he's getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, how are you feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. Let's see why not. You know what I mean? That you can say, I don't think we've played them at home in the FA Cup ever. But overall, we've got pretty good. When we're good, we've got a good rating against them. Yeah, they're struggling in the league, and you can say that form goes out the window, but then it goes down to the squad depth as well. We are at home. The manager's come out and said he wants to do well in the cup. Obviously, he's going to make some changes, but I don't think it'll be as many as we expect. But I think they're going to make changes as well. Being bottom of the league, do you know what I mean? It's not going to be their priority, and they can't afford to get certain players injured. So I do feel that they'll make some changes as well. But I'm pretty confident that we've got enough. It's like a free hit game for us, and I think that we will do well, and I just think that we should beat them.
Yeah.
But you know they have got pedigree in the FA Cup. I believe they won it a few years ago.
Yeah. I remember when I went to their ground, when I was just going around the grounds up north a couple of years ago, and they got the FA Cup statue thing outside.
I do think we're playing them at the right time. You know, they're not like doing that well, and they're they're being exposed and that, and they're struggling. So I just think we're on. You know, there'll be certain players that start. We're wanting to be proving something, and I think they will. So I'm feeling pretty confident. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm actually thinking, and obviously I know we've got them in 2 weeks and that, but I'm thinking this game, I'm confident in it, don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking this game might be tougher just due to the fact they will rotate more. I know they will as well, but just that pedigree, like you said as well. I think this game will be tougher than when we play them in the league. I still think league will be a tough game, of course. I'm not saying it won't, but I just feel when we play them in the league, obviously they've got the worst home record in the league as well. And obviously we know how good we are away, you know, most times this season, majority of times. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But obviously, yeah, we will rotate a bit. Like I said, I expect Watson to start again. There's a few players I expect to start that probably will. And obviously we will get into that. But before we do that, obviously we will go into some more comments. This is interesting. I'm not sure if you've heard about this. This is first I've heard, so it's good to hear.
Yeah.
Lansbury back on light training, which is good. So yeah, obviously, you know, I felt sorry for him because he started doing really well, especially games away from home as well. I feel he's a massive benefit for us because obviously you tend to go a little bit more defensive sometimes away, and obviously we know he can play that CDM role very, very well. Look, when he played Hull, for example, scored that really good goal as well. 100%, I agree. I think we'll still see some main names or bigger names, shall I say, in that sense. But yeah, there we go with that one. So yeah, let's get into the lineup now. So what we'll do is obviously the usual. I'll say what I'd go with. But to be fair, we might even on this one, because it's, you know, we both expect to rotate a team. We might even, you know, go with, you know, I might say what you think and then do it like that, and then, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, let me just wait for it to share. So yeah, got that one. It always changes, which annoys it. It's annoying. What one is it? That it is. I think it's the. Not that one. Well, where's it gone? That one. It's annoying because I had it up and then it always changes. No, not that one. Why did I press that? No, it wasn't that one. Got to say. There we go. That's the one I wanted. So in goal, it'd be interesting to see if they have a lot of these players. So I'm going to go Eisted in goal in this one. You know, I still, you know, he's our backup keeper. Obviously, I feel Ethan's going to get rest in this one. As for the back three, I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Burke. Definitely going to put Burke in. I'm just thinking, shall I put him here? I will go with him here on this right hand side. I'm going to go. Interesting. I'm going to go. Probably going to. This could cause debate, but it's obviously a lineup that I would go with. I'll probably go Potts. Why is he not coming up? On the left hand side. I don't know why he's not coming up though. Apparently he can't be loaded. What is going on here? What? There we go. So Potts there. And then in the middle. Or in fact, what I'll do actually, so I would put, no, what I'll do actually, I'll put Burke in the middle. So back three. And then on the right, I would go Osho. And then the right wing back, Actually, I'll start off with left wing backs. I know who I'm going to go with there. I'll probably would go Doherty, which might sound interesting to people, but I'm going to go with him. What's going on with this thing? So yeah, there you go. And then the right side, I'm trying to think who really is there, because obviously there's no Fred. Obviously, Bree is obviously the main one. I probably would, because I can't really think of anyone else. Probably would go Bree. Unless you potentially maybe went Doherty on the right and then Bell on the left. But then again, would you go that strong? I don't know. Midfield, Watson definitely in that midfield somewhere. Obviously, we know he can play centre mid and attacking midfielder. So, what would I do? What would I do here? I would probably go. Berry on the right of the midfield. As the cam, I would probably go Watson. Where is he? There he is. And then on the left of the mid, I would probably go. It's interesting. It's interesting because this is where, obviously, Lance. This is where I'd like to, get back into the swing of things. But obviously, he's only doing light training. This is difficult. This is difficult for me. I'm not going to lie. So then I feel if we go with someone like a Petit, there's not really that defensive midfielder for me. I feel we need someone who can do a bit of both. It's interesting. Do you know what? Actually, he should be back. I'm going to go Clark as the cam. Or if actually no. People could say Clark on the right midfield, which I wouldn't really disagree with, but I'm going to go with him up there and then go Watson there. So yeah, there's that. And then up front, I would probably go. Obviously, Vic Morris will be rest. I agree on that. I'm gonna go Woodrow and Cornick. I'm gonna go Woodrow and Cornick in this one. Your thoughts on that lineup, Dad?
Yeah, pretty much. The strikers, yeah, I'm expecting maybe Elijah to start instead of Cornick, but I do feel like Woodrow will be given his chance. I do feel like Burke, Osho will play. Ice did. Doughty's just on. You obviously don't want him to get injured in that, but he's young. He's doing well. Probably start. Bree ain't really got much choice. Berry deserves a start. For me, I think instead of Clark, it's going to be Freeman.
Okay. Yeah, Freeman. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah,
start there, and I think Clark will be rested again. But I do think that we'll have, we'll have Morris on the bench, Adebayo on the bench, Clark on the bench. Do you know what I mean? We'll have, the backup if we need it, because potentially I think it goes into extra time penalties. So I don't think it goes straight to penalties. If it's a draw, I think it goes to extra time first. So I do think we'll have some the main regulars on the bench. But, there's a few changes there. But, most of them players have started this season anyway. Burke could be starting if he was fit. Potts has started a lot of games. Osho started a cut of games. Bree, Doughty, the strikers. But I feel like Iceland should be given a chance, even if it's just a manager. Just look at him. He come on against Chelsea, done bits. I feel like he should. Otherwise, what's the point? Sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? We're out of the league. What other games are you going to see him in? Unless Ethan gets injured, which obviously we do not want to see. But he needs some football. So, yeah, I'd probably put Freeman instead of Clark. Other than that, I can see, I can still see other players still starting, like Ruddock, because he still needs some more minutes on his belt. But obviously, he's played a lot of games recently, so they just bang him on the bench. But the players who ain't generally started, who have come off the bench, they'll probably be, starting. And we've also recalled Thorpe as well, I believe. So
Yeah, we have. Yeah, come out the other day. I'd
potentially
like to see him on the bench personally.
Yeah, or at least on the bench. But again, we've got them. We've still got a couple of players out, so it's difficult. And we still need to get a replacement for Bree. Not a replacement, but do you know what I mean? A backup.
Another option. Yeah.
And that. You can't, unless he plays Clark there, but you can't really see. I just think he'll give him a rest. But we'll see. Be interesting.
Yeah, it was difficult. The main part I found difficult then was doing that midfield.
Yeah. But I feel like Freeman will probably start.
I know Watson's definitely going to start. But yeah, Freeman, I could see that, to be fair. I feel we need that more defensive one there as well in this one.
Yeah.
Sort of. Well, not necessarily defensive, but more that could do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't go Campbell.
Berry and Watson can do that, So
yeah, exactly.
I feel like Freeman will probably start this game, and I think he might even end up being pretty decent because we've yet to see that properly from him. He's done all right, do you know what I mean? But I want to see him just get a man of the match performance. Do you know what I mean? Because he has got a lot of ability. But strike. I want to see Cornick improve because I do like the guy. Do you know what I mean? So this is a perfect opportunity for them to show, that they should be getting picked or whatever, or they should be considered going forward to starting lineup. So yeah.
No, absolutely. Big up Wolf. He says, "Big up Tyler. See ya. Take care. Big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well." Oh no, I said hope you're well. I already spoke to you like that, but take care. I meant to say. Hanno says, "Can't wait to see Luton play. It'll be 2-0. A lot of people have gone 2-0 Luton, what I've seen, but it is that time for us, Dad. Score predictions. So we're both, confident going into it. I reckon we'll progress into the fourth round in 90 minutes. I think, saying that, I don't think there is replays this year. I think there is replays this year, I've heard.
Is there?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
I don't know. But I don't
know. It's annoying. 1 minute they change it, 1 minute it's,
I don't think it's going to come to that. I think there's going to be a few players out there that are going to just enjoy themselves. And it's going to be a tough evening for Wigan Athletic. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Luton win.
Jeez, we love that. Goal scorers, and then I'll do mine.
I'm going to say Woodrow, Alfie Doughty, and Osho.
Nice. Decent lot. My score prediction, like I said, I'm confident. Like I said, I do think this game tomorrow will be tougher than when we play them in the league. Still both be tough games, but I just think, with our away form and their home form, in that game, I think there's more positivity that we could win that one more than this one. There's still positivity, but you know what I'm trying to say. As for me, I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. I'm going to go 2-1. As for goal scorers, I'm going to go Woodrow as well. And I'm going to agree. I'm going to go Osho as well, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. They are our predictions. Get yours in the chat as well. It's a 5:30, which is a bit weird. It's a bit weird time. I'm not going to lie. And there's even a game at 6, Sheffield Wednesday, Newcastle. So it's interesting how they've done it. But yeah, that is that. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, there's not really too much else to say unless you want to say anything, Dad.
Nah, let's just if we do beat them, let's hope we get a reasonable cup tie, like so we can progress a little further. Getting the big boys straight up. We do perform all right against some of these teams, but we don't want to be getting Man City, Liverpool. Well, Liverpool wouldn't mind. I think we'd probably do them in the way they're playing at the moment.
I'll be honest.
Home tie. You know what I mean? Get someone we should be beating, and let's go on a little run. You know what I mean? Because I think we're capable of doing that with the squad we've got and the togetherness we've got, and things like that. And we haven't had a decent cup run for years. Last time I remember was 94. We lost, and they started playing the semi-finals at Wembley, and we lost to Chelsea 2-0 or something. So I think we deserve it. We need more respect, more recognition, and this is a perfect way to show that as well a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it could potentially help us when we are trying to sign players. The players in January, we will potentially be signing a couple of players, and it can make us more attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Jackie's gone 2-1 as well. So yeah, there you go with that. And obviously a third round memory, which we all know, just quickly before we wrap up. Obviously we did lose the game, but what a memorable day out for the fans that went. Obviously Newcastle 3-1. Danny Hilton, when he scored, he was brilliant that game, and big up to all the Luton fans. I think there was over 7,000 that ended up going to that. So yeah, massive shout out to them. Obviously at that time, that was obviously a long journey, as we know, up to Newcastle from here. So yeah, big up to them as well. And yeah, we'll see what goes on. See if we can get to back-to-back fourth rounds, and see how far we could potentially get. Obviously, if we win tomorrow. So yeah, man, that is where we're going to wrap it up. But yeah, big up everyone that's been inside. Flicks did ask earlier as well. He said, "Will there be a Man United versus Everton watch along?" Unfortunately, not, mate. There will be. Well, I would say a watch along to Luton, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like there'll be a match reaction. I think Hanno's doing something, so I might even see if we do it on both channels. I don't know. I'll see what goes on. But even if not, there'll be a match reaction to Luton. But there will be another watch along tomorrow to Liverpool. And then Sunday, I'll be doing a watch along to Man City versus Chelsea again. Obviously, this time around, it's in the FA Cup. Obviously, it's at City. So, yeah, a couple of watch alongs coming up on the channel. So, yeah, man, stay tuned for that. And, yeah, that is that. The like count so far has ended up on 15 likes. I know a lot of people watch this back as well, so big up to yourselves. And make sure you do smash that like button as well if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. We have gained a new subscriber today as well. So, yeah, we're edging even closer to 1.48k. So, yeah, big up yourselves for that as well. And, yeah, turn on notification bell, all of that. If you do want to follow me across socials, link to them are in the description. And, yeah, just quickly before we wrap up, that's exactly the number that it was the Luton fans that travelled to Newcastle. So, yeah, that is that. Until the next Hatter show, we will see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace. Come on, Luton.